Hey everyone, this is Paula Macmillan, your technology coach. I want to show you today a very exciting new feature to Google Classroom, and that is the calendar integration that we've all been waiting very patiently for. In order to use the calendar integration, I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can do that. If we go into a class, so I'm going to use our Washington, D.C. trip classroom where we're pushing information out to students. You need to create an assignment in order to show the due dates on a classroom, on a calendar page. So it is very important that these due dates are up to date. So if there's something that you're assigning that you don't have a specific due date for, and you don't want it to show up on the calendar as due on a specific day, you need to make sure that you toggle this button over and shut off the due date in the assignment view. Okay, but if you do want to have a due date, you can have that, click that on. You can select your date that your assignment is due. You can even click on a cutoff time if you so choose. And I'm just going to put in Google Calendar test assignment. Okay, and I'm going to assign this. Obviously, the students aren't going to turn this in. There's nothing attached to it. But you can see I have my new assignment. I have my due date, which is Friday, September 25th. So I'm going to show you how this works with Google Calendar. If you go up to the top left corner of your classroom page and you click on your menu, you're going to see now you have a home button to go to all of your classes, and you now have this calendar button that you can pick. So when I click on calendar, it's going to give me a view of a week, a whole week's worth of view. So you can page over to keep going and look at what the upcoming assignments would be, or you can page back to previous assignments. And you can see that my Google Calendar test assignment has shown up due on Friday the 25th, and that is from the DC trip classroom, which you can see is colored blue. When you have multiple classes, they would be in different colors. So if I click on that, it's actually going to take me right to the assignment. Okay, so I'm going to click my back arrow, and I'm going to go back to my calendar view, and here you can see the assignment again. Now the nice thing about this view is if you look at this top left area where it says all classes, if you click on that, you can look at just one class's worth of assignments, or you can look at all the classes together. So if I click on this one called the arts, I can see there's no upcoming due dates. Okay, or I can click on the Washington, D.C. trip and I can see my assignment that's due, or I can click on all classes, and if I had more assignments in there, they would all show up on the screen. So that's one spot that you can see this calendar in Google Classroom. If I go back to my classes, and I'm going to go back into that Washington, D.C. class, you can also see a calendar view under the About tab. So if I click on the About tab, take a minute to load, you can see that I now have this calendar feature, and I have two different options. I can view in Classroom, which is what I just showed you. That would be another way to get to the screen that we were just on, or I can open in Google Calendar. So if I click on this, it's going to open a new tab and go right to my personal Google Calendar, and it'll show all the different things that are on my calendar. Obviously, I have a lot of my calendars turned off right now, so you can't see a lot of my events, but you can see under my calendars on the left side, all the way to the bottom, I have my Washington, D.C. trip calendar. This is the Google Classroom that was set up for this specific trip, and it shows up right here under my calendars. So now I have my assignment, Google Calendar, test assignment, and you can see it's got a little description. It'll take you to that classroom page if you copy that link over, okay, and it goes right into the Google Calendar. So you really have a few different places that you can have your upcoming assignments. Now, the nice feature about having this sync to the students' classroom or calendar page is they can start sharing things with parents. And you can do this a couple different ways. The first thing you could do is if you have a Google site, which I think everybody at this point has a Google website, you can embed the calendar right into your Google website, and parents could subscribe to that calendar. The other thing you can do is if you go right over to that calendar, and if we go to our calendar settings, If we go about halfway down the page where it says calendar address, if we click on HTML, this little box right here, this is going to give you the link that you would have to get to that specific calendar. So you could share this link with parents so that they're able to access that specific classroom's calendar. So they would be able to see that. The one thing that you need to make sure you do in order for this to happen is go back to the top and where it says share this calendar, you're going to click on that and you're going to change this to make this calendar public. And when we do this, see all event details is highlighted in that drop-down menu. When we do this, then we can absolutely share the link with parents and they will be able to click on that link and see any of the assignments that are due for their child. It is important to note that only the assignments that have due dates in Google Classroom will show up on the classroom calendar, which is also integrated to Google Calendar. However, if you would like to add additional assignments, you can do that by going to the calendar page directly. So if you'd like to add, for example, field trips or assessment due dates, you could do so right from the Google Calendar page. So that's about it in a nutshell. That is the Google Classroom, Google Calendar integration. I know I kind of went through it quickly just to give you a little overview. If you have more questions or you want to know how a specific feature works for you, feel free to make an appointment with me or have me come to your common planning time to meet with your team, and I'd be happy to go over these features with you.